Now it's filming.
You ready?
Yeah. Is my teeth clean?
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Hi everyone, welcome back to Limitless Trading. My name is Jonathan, and today I have a very special guest for you. This is Terry. Say hi everyone.
Hi guys. I'm Terry, John's wife.
Today we're going to be talking about assets and specifically how to use starting our topic on options. A little background here. We are doing this because I am interested in and I've been trading options for quite a while. But Terry doesn't yet understand the topic very well, and we think it's important that we both understand what we're doing with our finances. Therefore, we're going to start a little series and go ahead and share it with you guys. Today we're going to call it our intro episode. We will go into a little bit about assets in general so that we can get to the same standpoint in what an asset is and is not. And then we'll go into some specific things about assets, and then we'll move forward. Do you have anything you want to say to everybody before we get started?
No.
Okay.
Let's just get started.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some assets in general, some little general things before we get into the details. So, what do you think of when you hear assets?
What I understand is what asset is that it's something that can generate cash flow, like real estate, like gold. What else? Stocks, and such.
Exactly. So what? So you've mentioned a couple categories already. You talked about real estate, gold, which is a commodity. What do you think some categories of assets are that maybe aren't real estate? How would you categorize them?
I'll categorize like tangible and intangible.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
physical or non-physical assets.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would, say a couple things about assets in general. So what are assets? Assets are something, physical or non-physical, that, as you said, has some sort of future economic value. So cash flow or asset or price appreciation.
I have a question here. For instance, I have a Louis Vuitton bag. Is it a kind of asset? Because it's quite expensive and I can sell it in the future to somebody,
Bags are generally an asset to the company that produces them because they are the product that they sell. To the people who buy them, I would view a bag as a consumable. Your intention is to use it, not to turn it into cash. If on the other hand you are a bag rental company and you buy them and you end up just renting them out to different individuals, and that is the main purpose of buying them, then yeah, they could be assets.
So what you mean is if we own a house which we are currently living in, that's not kind of asset. Only when we rent it to other people.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that an asset because the only way you could ever get any value out of it is by selling it, and then you can no longer live in it. If you're living in it, you can't. You can put it on Airbnb. That's a different story, but.
So assets is kind of a thing that can help you make money.
Exactly, they have future economic value.
Okay.
In economic terms. For me, I see physical assets, real estate as definitely a category because there's a lot of different real estate out there, residential, commercial, and so forth. There's also physical assets in the sense of commodities. You mentioned gold, but right now there's a lot of talk about lumber and wheat, corn, all sorts of other commodities that aren't just gold. Actually, gold is on its butt compared to all the other commodities. Quite interestingly. Companies are an asset. Investors or traders can buy or sell companies. One can start a company where it starts with no value, but you can end up with a very valuable company. I mean, just look at Look at your smartphone, you'll see a bunch of companies that went like that. Went from no value to very valuable. Then there's intellectual property. If you write a book, the book and the physical books are assets, but the intellectual property is the manuscript, the words. You can have copyright on that. You could also have, for all the COVID vaccines, there's patents. There's lots of discussion around the patents right now, but those patents are not intangible property. The drug themselves are being sold for something, but the patent itself is what holds the value because it stops other people from using the. And then one class that probably everybody knows about and is the most popular is paper assets, meaning stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, options, futures.
What do you mean by paper here? Is it there is a physical paper?
Originally there was. Today it's just all electronic, traded on exchanges. Yeah, I've heard rumors that some small cap niche stocks, I'll call them, are still physically traded. I just heard an example recently about a stock that is trading in London. It only trades electronically for 5 minutes a day. Don't ask me what the name is anymore. It had something to do with gemstones. That's all I remember.
So basically, nowadays it's all like in a electronic form.
Yeah, nowadays it's all electronic. You have New York Stock Exchange, CME, ICE, even Bitcoin's traded on Coinbase. You can pretty much trade, for some people you can trade pretty much the entire world, meaning exchanges throughout the world. You can trade in Europe, North America, Asia, South America, Africa, wherever exchanges are. Some brokers allow that to happen.
That means if you know how to do it, you can do it as a side job and anywhere, anytime.
Within reason, yeah. Cool. So that's assets in general. If we want to move on to more specific things, our specific topic that I work with is options. Can you give me talk to me about your understanding of options, what they are, what they aren't?
I don't know about detail. That's why I'm here, to learn.
Okay, I completely understand.
Yeah.
And yeah, as we said at the beginning of the video, that's why we're here, so that we have a shared understanding of what we're talking about. So this series will be about options in detail. We'll get into a lot of fun things, or I think are fun, and I hope you can enjoy some of them as well. And but I guess a couple points about options before we start into details and where we're going here. They're very generic. Their options are contracts and they need an underlying. They don't exist in and of themselves. They need an underlying to be based on. And some of these underlines are stocks or futures. So Apple has options. Gold futures have options.
What is future?
Future, okay, that's a bit off topic, but that's not a problem. Future is just, it's also a contract. Futures are usually there to do with commodities, oil, gold. What it means is it's the price today for delivery in the future. So if I am an oil company and I produce oil, I know how long it takes me to produce it and how long it takes me to transport it. I know what the price is today, and I can know what the price today of future oil is. That's what a future is. So it means if a future expires in December of this year, the price today that I can deliver the oil at in the future is whatever the current price of the December expiration future is. What that means, it helps producers and consumers to take the risk, the time risk, out of the transaction. Because if something happens and the price of oil drops, producers, if they sold futures today, then they would have hedged their price risk. It allows to match the revenue and expenses. So I want to give you a little heads up on what we're going to do in this series. We're going to start off very abstract, talking about what options are. This is the fun stuff for me, just kidding. But I'm sure it'll be fun for all of us. Then we'll talk about why we use options, and spoiler alert, it's because of time. We'll talk about how to use options in the sense of if you have a thesis, an idea on an underlying, how you can use options to carry out to trade this thesis. We'll talk about Greeks and pricing, so option Greeks and option pricing. And we'll go into some option strategies, how you can put together a strategy, and how you can manage those strategies. Yeah, that's the plan that we have for this option series. If you guys like what you're seeing, go ahead and give it a like down at the bottom, leave a comment, let us know what you think. We're going to go ahead, as I said earlier, we're going to talk about options, what they are, what they're not, how to use them, why to use them, and what are the benefits and what are the negatives. There are always positives and negatives, trade-offs, as we say, and it's very important to understand what they are before engaging in an activity. And we hope you will be able to learn with us, learn from us, and engage with us throughout this series. Yeah, it's very important to us because we strive to understand what we're doing together. That's why we're going through this series. We're trying to make sure that whatever financial expertise I have or Terry has is shared amongst us. That way we both understand what's going on and because we're both responsible for it in the end. You looking forward to it?
Of course. I want to understand what you're doing there every day. Yeah.
Again, I'm Jonathan. This is Terry. We're here with Limitless Trading. Thanks for stopping by today, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.